Meanwhile, there is Nimish Trivedi. He is the CEO and co-founder of EVERA, which provides electric cab services. My first question to you, sir, is what can you tell us about EVERA and its operations? Where all in the country do you operate?
So EVERA is an app-based EV taxi service provider based out of Delhi NCR. So we have a split of our services in B2B and B2C. In B2C, we work at the Delhi airport. It's an app-based taxi service. You've got to schedule a ride from there. And one destination on the app has to be an airport. So that's on the B2C side that we are focused at Delhi airport. And on the B2B side, we do employee transport, business transport, and we also do some spot rentals on a need base only for these B2B clients. So that's the part of our services. One is that we have all our cars as leased cars. Secondly, we have our drivers who are in-house. So they are well-trained drivers, well-groomed. Also, we have our own charging stations and hubs. We currently have 2 charging stations and 2 hubs in Delhi to cater up the fleet that we have.
Okay.
We are coming up with a big charging station set up near the Delhi airport, which will have 200 charging stations as we are in the process of expanding. We've just recently ordered for another 200 cars from Tata. So we operate, all cars are operated out of Tata Tigor sedans, EVs.
Okay. All right. Now, again, a question that comes to one's mind is how many electric cabs does EVERA operate in the Delhi region?
So we have about close to 250 charging cars.
Okay. Mr. Trivedi, do you see a surge in usage, buying of electric cabs, as well as usage of electric cabs during winters when pollution spikes?
I think there's an overall surge in the usage. Winters surely is one of the seasons when there will be a surge in the usage of EVs.
Okay.
And EVs overall have grown tremendously. If you really look at Delhi and NCR alone, is doing pretty well in terms of other states in terms of numbers.
Now, as per your estimate, if Delhi needs to shift completely to electric cabs, how many cabs are we looking at?
Now, if you really look at the current number, I may be speaking under correction because these numbers are not recently published, but we have a close to 300,000 cars requirement in Delhi NCR. So that's a lot of requirement that we have. So a transition to that number will take very aggressive plans and will need a lot of charging infrastructure and other related facilities to be built up. So I think to replace that completely is a little longer duration, say about 4 to 5 years from now, we should be looking at that.
Mr. Trivedi, what do you think are the other challenges that must be addressed at this point of time if Delhi really wants to have a complete shift to electric cabs, say by 2024? Is that even a possibility in such a short span of time?
By 2024, I think the government also doesn't have a 2024. We are all talking about 2030. But however, I think charging infra being the most imperative requirement when you are running cars on the streets. So I think there has to be an aggressive push from the government on charging infra itself. While we've seen a lot has happened, but there's still a lot of bigger need there.
So how do you see the charging infrastructure in Delhi? How many chargers should the government aim to set up if there is an electric shift with not just the cabs, but say 50% of all the vehicles, private and public in Delhi, if they want to shift to being electric?
With 50, I can just tell you, currently we have close to about 2,500 charging points in Delhi NCR. and government is targeting at about 18,000 charging points by the end of next year. So with that number in mind, I can't really say that if, when you want to shift a 50% thing immediately, I think the numbers will almost be doubling up from there. So from 18,000, they should be looking at a 40,000 something like that.
All right, thank you, Mr. Nimish Trivedi from EVERA, which provides electric cab services, giving us a lowdown on how there needs to be electric vehicles and the infrastructure that is required for allowing more and more vehicles, public vehicles, cabs to ply on Delhi, which are electric.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.